who you really are comes natural to you. You can let go. You have the ability to let go, and you're allowed to, and you can. And the reason that you can is because anything that you desire to do, anything that you want to do in your life, if you want to do it, it will come naturally to you. If you truly, deeply inside, the real you, the actual authentic person that exists within the shells and shells of ego and protection that we put on top of ourselves, if the real, true, authentic version of you wants to do something truly, you're going to do it. You don't have to hold a club over your own head in order to do the thing that you want to do. If you are a musician, you do not have to sit down and force yourself to come up with melodies and ideas. Okay? And the reason that you don't have to is because if you are truly a musician, if you really feel that way about yourself inside and you want that, that's what you actually want out of your life, the inspiration is going to come to you. And so you can let go. You can take a step back and you can detach, live your life and wait for it to come to you, because it will. And if you're worried about doing that because you're so focused on doing this thing, I say music because that's what I like to do, but it could be anything. It doesn't have to be music. Apply this to your own life in the way that you see fit. But if you're worried about letting go like that because you're afraid that by letting go is the inspiration is going to stop coming to you, I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. It's not true. If the inspiration to do something stops coming to you, it's not because you're lazy. It's not because you are doing the wrong thing. It's not because you're living an uninspired life. It's because if it really truly stops coming to you altogether, it's because that thing was never really a part of who you were. And the truth is that if you're afraid of that happening to you, it's not going to happen to you. You know what I'm saying? If you are like one of those people who's sitting down and badgering yourself about doing something right now because you want to do that thing so bad, and you know this, you know that by letting go, it's supposed to bring, if I let go, it's supposed to bring all this stuff to me, but whatever, I'm kind of afraid to do that. If you're afraid to do that, that in itself is an indicator that doing it is what you should do. If that makes sense. The fact that you are afraid to pull back and to let go is an indicator enough to you, or should be an indicator enough to you, that by letting go, by pulling back, you are going to gain the inspiration that you're looking for. Because that inspiration is being warded off by your resistance and by your attempting to consciously force it. If you are feeling stuck, the first reason is that you are trying to force yourself to do something when instead you need to be letting the inspiration and motivation come to you. If you feel stuck right now and it's because you're trying to force yourself to do something, take a step back and let go. See what happens. Because once you do that, once you stop trying to badger yourself into doing this thing, the inspiration and the motivation is going to come to you. You just need to take a step back. You have to take a step back and let the motivation and inspiration come to you. You have to do that. And it will, if you only trust and give time. Trust and give time that the motivation and inspiration to do what you want to do in your life is going to come to you. You have to relax and let that happen. If I'm hopping on here and I'm making a video and I'm talking about something, it's because I just worked through that myself. Why am I talking about getting stuck and letting inspiration come to me? Because I realized that I felt like I was walking through mud for like 4 days. And then all of a sudden I realized, right, this is how I need to do this. I need to stop trying to force myself to be inspired, stop trying to force myself to be motivated, and instead allow my body's and mind's natural cycles to go through what they need to go through in order for the inspiration and motivation to come to me, right? So if I'm just to make it simple and easy to think about, if I'm a guitarist, right? And so I make guitar music. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, I really don't want to pick up the fucking guitar. Like this guitar, like I'm really tired of playing guitar. I really don't feel like it, but I force myself to do it anyway. And then I just lacklusterly play my guitar and I make like 20 more songs. And all the while, if I had let go of playing guitar, if I had said, if I had trusted myself and instead said, man, I really don't want to play the guitar right now, I'm just going to take a moment to sit back, to step back and just assess things. I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to live my life normally. Well, then maybe you would have discovered that you really like playing drums. Like one day your friend invites you over and he's like, hey man, you want to jam out on my drum set? And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. And so you start playing the drums and you're like, oh, I'm actually a drummer. This comes naturally to me. And then you never have that problem again of the lack of motivation, because you found the thing that you naturally wanted to do. So that's the other kind of situation that you can find yourself in if you're lacking motivation, is that maybe you're forcing yourself to do something that you don't really want to do, that isn't really a part of who you are. But that's why it's so important to let go, is because we can't really consciously know that. Like the thing is, you are not a good, as a person, your perspective is not a good indicator of what it is that you really want to do until it's already happening. So like if you're looking for inspiration in your life, for something to do, you have to allow that to happen, because who we really are comes naturally to us. So this all boils down to authenticity and being true to yourself. Who you really are comes natural to you. If I try to tell you to be yourself, it's going to be impossible for you to be yourself. Because as soon as I say that to you, as soon as I put that onto you, and this is a teaching in Zen Buddhism, and this is why I love Zen so much. If I look at you and I say, show me your true self, show me who you really are, it's impossible for you to do so, because anything that you do after that point is a put on. Anything that you do after that point is a form of performance for me. For me as a person, you're trying to show me who you are. But you can't do that because you're not being natural. You are intentionally, consciously acting a certain way. And so the same thing applies to everything in your life. If you don't want to do something, because it may be because you're trying to force yourself to do it in an unnatural way. And so that's why it's so important to learn how to take a step back and stop messing with our lives so much. Stop messing with your mind. Stop messing with the things that you have. Stop messing with the way that people perceive you. Stop messing with the things that you do and don't do. If you take a step back, you might find that this is not as lazy as it sounds. If you take a step back, you might find that it's not as scary as it seemed before to do this, to let go. Because you don't have to force yourself to do anything. And additionally, forcing yourself to do something is you're never going to find what you're looking for when you do that. You're never going to find it, because every time that you force yourself to do something, you are acting in the exact opposite of your inherent nature as a person. Every time that you force yourself to do something, you are acting in the exact opposite of your essential and inherent nature as a person. Every time that you make yourself act a certain way, do a certain thing, say a certain phrase, do blah, 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 every single time that you do that, you are acting in the exact opposite nature of who you really are. You cannot consciously force yourself to be yourself. And so anything that you are consciously forcing yourself to do, think about this, or don't. Or don't. I mean, you don't have to, but think, if you want to, if it feels natural to you after watching this video, think about this for the next couple of days and say, what am I consciously making myself do? What am I messing with in my life? What is my mind messing with in my day-to-day life? And how can I stop that? Gotta let go. I have to take a step back. Because anything that you force yourself to do, anything that you have to put conscious effort and intention into doing, is the exact opposite of your inherent nature in that moment. Thank you guys for watching this. Much love to all of you. Thank you for sharing this space with me. I have a second YouTube channel where I'm doing like more casual, funny, musical content. I'm going to put a link to that in the description below. And also, there is a Discord server where you can talk to me and other like-minded individuals, if you so please. I'm trying to be more active in there. Admittedly, I've been a little absent, and it's not that's not intentional. But like I said, I can't force myself to place energy in places that it doesn't come naturally to me. So when I'm in there, I will be in there if you want to talk to me. And there's plenty of amazing, beautiful people that are in that Discord server besides me. So, you know, anyway, thank you guys again. Much love. And I will see you in the next video.